Thanks for checking out my micro drawings channel. Today I'll be drawing Spider-Man, and I've got a quarter for scale, regular wood pencil, and the tips of two of the Copic sketch markers I'll be using. And here's the point of the multi-liner. You can see how small that is. So in this case, I tried starting with the outline of Spider-Man's face, and it didn't work well. So I threw it away and restarted with his eyes. Usually I start with facial features of one of the characters, and that's what I end up doing here. So I've got his eyes going, and then from there I'll work out for the outline of his head or his face, and then I'll base everything off of that. Here I'm starting to add the shoulders, so again, basing it from his head and where the eye positions are and working down from there. One of the tougher things to do on these little figures is the fingers. Here I've got Spider-Man's 5 outstretched fingers, and you can see all 5 on the other hand too when I get to that. But they end up turning out okay, but boy, they're tiny. So at this point, I've got pretty much the outline of Spider-Man done, and I'm starting to add the little details. So the webbing on the part of his outfit, that will be red. So adding those little lines of the web in there, and adding some additional shading from the black Copic multi-liner. At this point, I've got all my black line drawing pretty much finished up, so I'll move on to my Copic sketch marker. There are 2 points or 2 ends to the Copic sketch markers. The fine tip end, which I'm using here to get the blue in there, and then there's a broad chisel end. So I end up using that fine tip end, and I'm just lightly touching the paper because there is some bleed with these. Of course, if I would just hold that felt end or whatever the nib is made of, if I held that there, it would just bleed into the paper. So touching very lightly, rotating the paper as needed to work that fine tip point right up to the line. A lot of times I'll leave it a little bit short because I know it's going to bleed up into the line. So I'll work on adding the blue here, and then I'll move on to the red. So the fingers here, well, they're tough to draw too with the black multi-liner. They're tough to color in too with that fine tip. I just had to lightly touch so that it could hope to keep that ink inside of those little teeny lines. All right, so finished up. There's the quarter for scale. I just need to put on today's date, August 2nd of 2020, and my initials. And thanks again for checking out the channel. Please subscribe and share if you haven't.